Welcome to the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network, a weekly broadcast sponsored by CVC Success Group, hosted each week by industry speaker, coach, author, and educator Jerry Isenhour. Our presentations are produced to assist business owners and managers in turning their business dreams into their business realities. And now, here is your host, Jerry Isenhour.
Well, good afternoon, good morning, good day, whatever time of day it is for you. And I want to thank you for tuning in to another live broadcast of our podcast, the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network. And just like usual, myself and Sheryl are going to be on this today. And today we're going to come at you from a different perspective. You know, usually when we do this show, what we're doing is Sheryl and I are sharing with you different ways to improve your business and make it better. But today we're going to come at you as consumers, and we're going to tell you the story of two contractors. Because Sheryl, tell them what we went through back in November and why we have two contractors involved today.
Well, it all started with rain. Our lower level flooded, the one that's our studio now, flooded about 12 to 14 inches. And we had to totally gut it. It's why the studio's down here. So that was contractor number one. That's that we had in to remodel for that. Well, during that remodel, we found that our upper master bath was leaking. So we ended up, because of certain situations, we had to get a second contractor, which is becoming a household item at this point. He's been here a while.
Right. So what we had here was, as consumers, that a lot of people do, is we had two different damages to our home. One was the basement area, and actually it turned out we've actually remodeled our entire basement, had a contractor come in. They had to demo the entire basement out, tear everything out, and redo it. So what we've done, we've turned our basement into a broadcast studio where we actually have classroom space. We can have about 20 to 25 people in our studio where we can be doing live streaming and live training at the same time. Now, we also have a broadcast side, which we're sitting on now. This is where we do our streaming side. So this was one contractor. And then we noticed we got a leak. Sheryl said, I think I got a leak up here in the bathroom. So you called the insurance company and the adjuster came out. Tell them what happened with the adjuster then.
That was the coolest thing. I've never had an adjuster out that when she got done, can give me 5 minutes. She went out, she wrote up a report, and she brought me a check.
Right.
On the spot.
So what we had here is two insurance claims. And the first one, we live in a floodplain. So we have flood insurance. And the flood insurance, to be honest with you, I thought it was a pretty good process, wasn't it?
It really was.
The adjuster came out on a Saturday and looked at everything top to bottom. We had to do some inventory. Yeah, there was a lot of work on her part to keep up with all this inventory, which she's really good at. But what happened was we had the money and we started remodeling our basement, which at the time it came to me, you know, we need to turn this into our recording studio. But then the other was we need to get someone that now has to remodel our master bath. And this is the tale of two contractors, one that won and one that is losing because we're still in process. In fact, he may just tune into this show today. You never know, because we're going live and they're upstairs working right now as we're doing this. We just told them we're getting ready to go do a live broadcast, and they know from working here, when we're broadcasting or we're teaching, they have to keep the noise down. So Sheryl, the first contractor, we're going to call him John. How did John do?
John did a really good job. I mean, I've known John for a lot of years, and so we had a good rapport coming in, and he actually finished on the day of his schedule. I really didn't think he was going to make it, but he did. And so it was really nice. John, as we're calling him, is a very business type man. He actually is not one of the worker bees. So he kept it well under control. and have people here when they were supposed to be.
Yeah, there was a few days that nobody wasn't working, and that was just the way construction is. And there was one or two times that might be one sub right on top of another one, like the plumber and the guy doing the floor covering.
Normal construction
issues. But it flowed pretty smooth overall. And the amazing thing was it kept this area neat. They kept it clean. They brought in a dumpster. Everything was put into the dumpster. And when they got it clean, they sent in a cleaning service that I tell you did a top-notch job. In fact, that girl that did that cleaning, I would have hired her. She was on it continuously, wasn't she?
She was good.
It was really amazing. But that was John. Now, let's talk about Charlie. Charlie was contractor number 2. And Charlie was someone that Sheryl had located that specialized in bathrooms, didn't he?
Well, in more smaller remodels.
Right. So he gave us a really good price on doing this. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Sat down at the table and really got you going.
Yeah. And the good thing about it is he talked good right in the beginning. He really did. The problem is, to me, one of his biggest mistakes, he didn't have a pen and paper. He didn't write anything down. And then once we got the contract, we got over that. But then the contract got afraid because he wasn't looking at his own contract. So now we're in the process of picking up the pieces and getting everything done that is in the contract. It is just, the problem here is just not having the product here when the guy that's actually doing the work needs it.
Right. And see, it's like every day. You look at it, you think that guys would be here in the morning when you get out of bed ready to go. What time do those guys usually show up every day, Sheryl?
This morning, 8:30.
But most days?
10:30.
10:30 to 11. And then the next thing that so commonly happens is they don't have what they need to work today, do they?
That was a lot to me of the overseer's part. He just didn't have it. They had their list. They just didn't go get it. Shopped like a man.
Shocked like a man. Tell me more.
Jerry, you send him to the grocery store. He'll go get milk today, bread tomorrow, juice the next day. Shops like a man.
Okay, so shops like a man. But the big thing is, it's like I told him yesterday, do you realize how much time you have wasted on this job going to procure your materials? And the next thing was, where did they put their debris, Sheryl?
In the front yard.
Yeah, we've got broken mirrors sitting on drop cloths in our front yard. We've had our garage piled up with materials. We've had all kinds of things. Again, we're talking to you today as consumers that have hired a contractor, which many of you are.
And we also had probably the first real garden tub.
Bringing your team to the level of expertise you expect and want from them is a job in itself. And let's be honest, in our industry, is the learning ever really over? Why not turn training over to the experts at the CVC Success Group? Subject matter experts in your industry have joined forces to create the CVC Academy, online, on-site, or live streaming. Training for your team in format options that work best for their individual needs. CVC Success Group has thought of everything to help put you and your team on the path to success.
So, just like you said there, Megan, we've been going head to head with the contractor in the house. It just seems to keep going on. So hopefully we're back working. We had a little glitch in the internet there, but hey, we're back in business now. So Sheryl, the whole thing is, what have you learned from this experience?
Not to remodel first, but the thing about it is, I will run the job from this point on, honestly. I came from construction. I know how it should be done. I think I could have told the contractor to leave and let me work these guys, and we'd been done. I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel.
Yeah, because the whole thing is, when we go here, what about the order of the work? Did you say something about they were starting to do the painting the other day before they even laid the tile in the bathroom?
We really don't want to go there, but yeah, that was his suggestion. Let's just go ahead and get it done so it'll be done. There's an order to life. There's an order to everything that you do. And actually in construction, there's more of an order than in most things. You've got to do what will mess something up first.
Right. It was like, wasn't it just a little while ago that we just found out he hadn't ordered the closet doors?
Yes.
And what do we know about the shower doors at this point?
We don't. That's the problem. We don't.
See where we're at here. We're in the middle of construction. We don't know if our contractor has ordered the shower doors. We're not sure if he has ordered the doors that go over the linen closet. Earlier today, what did you find out about your tile today?
It hadn't been ordered, or it hadn't been picked up, and it wasn't available when he got there. So over the phone, we had to actually re-choose tile. So I'm not 100% sure what it looks like yet. So it may have to return. I told him just to bring it and we'd pick it up and see if it worked. If it does, we'll go with it. If not, it's another trip back to the tile shop.
Now, the fun part of this, do you have any idea how much inventory you have in your master bath? I mean, how much stuff is in all those drawers and those closets in your bathroom? Do you have any idea? Sheryl, did you have any idea how massive our inventory was?
Yeah, I really did. I knew it was going to be a disaster. I really didn't know we had as much outdated stuff because it was in the back of the box. But I can tell you right now, it's getting organized as we speak to go back in.
Mm-hmm. So what have you learned from this as a consumer? What would you look for in a contractor? Because I think that's the important thing is the people that listen to us are home service contractors. So what would you tell a home service contractor that could be in the plumbing, yard? He could be a roofer. He could be a chimney sweep. He could be whatever. What would you as a consumer say you have learned from this?
I would probably dig a little deeper into the person. I would want to at least see some good reviews. I don't know if I will take a personal recommendation at this point unless I see what they did in their home.
Okay, so let me give you another aspect from the coaching side of this. One of the things that I've taught for years is that many customers will have a perceived risk of doing business with you. And the perceived risk many times is not from what you've done, but it's from a past life experience, such as what this lady has gone through over the last couple of weeks. And, how has this affected your judgment in picking a contractor to do work in the future?
Again, like I said, I'll be a little more selective, or I will make sure the steps are followed myself, which is, and me and being a type D personality, I will make my own list and let them pick it up.
Right. So one thing is, like I said, and I told the guy yesterday, and I think this kind of told the tale. And yesterday, I said, man, you got some problems here. You know that, don't you? And he said, yeah. And what did he do at that point? He started blaming everyone else. He blamed his secretary. How many people did he blame for this yesterday?
Secretary, people that work for him, people that don't work for him anymore. The thing is, if you are the leader, is your problem.
Right. And that's what I told him. And then he says, all I really want to do is sell. Well, dude, if you're going to own a company, there's a lot more than just selling. It's all about making the customer happy. It's all about meeting the customer expectations. It's all about delivering on your promises to your customer. And that's the problem here is you haven't delivered on your promises to us. So, hey, we're going to keep going with this right now. What's your bedroom look like right now, Sheryl?
chaos.
And the other day, we had some good friends stop in that were traveling from Charlotte back to Ohio, and they called. And what was the thoughts in your mind when they said they wanted to drop by?
To be honest, had they not driven a long way out of their way to surprise you, I honestly would have come up with an excuse.
That's it. So let this be a lesson to you. Be like contractor number one. Contractor one, he arrived on time. He did the job. He followed his schedule that he sent us. He got it done when he was supposed to. In fact, as we were coming up, what day you're going to be done, he told us the exact day. Now, naturally, when he got done, he was ready for a walkthrough, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He was ready for the walkthrough because he knew that the walkthrough was right before he gets to present you the final bill, didn't he?
Right. Now, there was two little things that were not done, but I knew it was not his fault. It was an order issue that the product it didn't come in. But the thing about it is, I had enough rapport with him that I was fine with giving him that final check.
And Megan, you're right. He needs somebody like us. To be honest with you, I'm going to give this guy some books when he leaves here. The other day I asked him, have you ever read the E-Myth? And he said, what's the E-Myth? And I said, you need to look it up and you need to get it. So I'm going to give him a copy of some of my books while he's here, the one on systematizing this business and all that. But it's also like I shared with you, if you just want to sell, that's great. But if you're going to run a company, somebody's got to run the operations and get the materials. How many hours do you think the guys working upstairs have wasted during this project, Sheryl, just to go to Home Depot to do something as simple as pick up some screws?
Enough that I'm extremely glad I'm not on time and material.
Right. The other thing, what's another thing? They wanted to borrow my tools. They couldn't figure out how to get the garden tub that was going out of the house. Then they wanted to know if we had hand trucks. And I said, yes, I'll get you some hand trucks. What did they want then? They wanted some rope to tie it down to the hand trucks. Then we told them the best way to go out, which was out our back door and across the deck and down the steps. And what did they do going down the steps, Sheryl?
They clipped the wood and knocked the paint off, but we spotted that real quick. It's on the list.
It's on the list. So anyway, that's our experience. You know, what we're doing is we're not wanting to share our sorrows with you. The reason we're sharing this story, you know, the really good friend of mine and one of my coaches and mentors did one of the best videos I ever saw him do. And his name was Larry Winget. So some months ago, Larry put out a video, and it was after he had had some work done on his home. And he started the video this way. You know, I just had some work done on my home. He did a great job. The price was good, but I'll never use him again. And then Larry went into details of why he would never hire this contractor to work in his home again. Never again. And he said it was like this. That guy did not value my time. He was supposed to be here at certain times of the day, and he would be at Home Depot picking up materials. And that's what I told him. He had no respect for my time. And see, this is what Larry said. My time is more valuable to me than my money is. And this is why I'll never use that contractor again. So this is just some sound words from Larry Winget, one of the guys I really admire, and he tells it like it is. So Larry, if you're listening to me today, I'm going through the same experience you did, and we got a guy that we'll never use again. Okay? So Sheryl, anything you want to add to this podcast before we back out of here?
The main thing is, for me, you know, I'm more the motivational kind of person. So for me, the fact that I've stayed calm, and I will till the end, but it's just a thing. It's terrible, and it's not been a great experience, but it's just a thing. And I've even laughed about part of this. We've gone through it, and I'm sure it's just going to be another thing that we laugh at, and it's going to give Jerry a lot of material. So the thing is, my thing to everyone is, if it's just a thing, get up the next day and go again.
That's it. So hopefully if you're a home service contractor, and Megan, I appreciate your comments today immensely there. Megan just said, if you give a worker a demo, let's say if you give a worker a demo, he's going to need a hand truck. And if you give a worker a hand truck, he's going to need an accident. Boy, Megan, you're a pretty harsh young lady there. It sounds like you might just be more demanding than the Isenhour crew is here. There you go. And that's what we're doing. We're hanging in, and hopefully it will be over before we know it. So anyway, we want to thank you for joining us today here on the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network. This is our live broadcast that we do, and now we hung up onto our website in the podcast version. I apologize for that little internet blip a little sooner, so I'm glad you stayed with it. And there you go. And Barb Peters said she's giving me a smiling hand up. So appreciate you joining us. If we can help you, we are CVC Success Group. My name is Jerry Isenhour. This is Sheryl Isenhour, and we're just part of the team here that wants to help you turn your business dreams into your business realities. Talk to you later. Appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for joining us here each week at the Chimney and Fireplace Success Network, sponsored by CVC Success Group, providing you the coaching and educational outreach services you need to move to your dream destination in business and in life.